A very joysome good evening to all. I welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Rohit Thange, my friend Prashant, students, teachers, parents, career lovers, and well wishers. Today, I am blessed to introduce our third webinar
Career lovers.
in the National Webinar Series on the topic My Role or Experience in Multinational Company by Mr. Rohit Thange. Today's keynote speaker has been honored by prestigious degrees from well-known colleges and universities. He is a pharma graduate from UD Matunga, MBA from Narsi Monji Institute, also completed postgraduate diploma in pharma management, a postgraduate diploma in regulatory affairs. He has over 9 years of quality experience in different organizations. For example, Imicure, Panacea, PM Dimensions, Karmic Life Sciences. He is also performing as an honorary guest faculty at GICED, better known as Garware Institute in Mumbai University, Kalina campus. He has also driven mock interviews for MIT College of Pharmacy, Nashik. He is a member of IPA and UD Alumni Association. Currently, he is working as an area sales manager at Boehringer Pharma Company for Mumbai and Surat. We are excited to hear from Mr. Rohit Thange about his captivating journey in the field of pharma industry. Over to Mr. Rohit.
Thank you, Shirke sir, for the kind words and introduction, and thank you, Dr. Mainkar sir, for giving opportunity to speak on this occasion and share my experience uh, to the young audience. And I request all of them to put questions so that they can get maximum of inputs from me. So, without much ado, I will proceed with my presentation. I hope my screen is visible. So the topic is role and experience in a multinational organization. Um the agenda will be, as sir has already introduced myself. So I will be taking through other part, that is introduction to pharmaceuticals, drug and cosmetics, different jobs in this industry. What is my current role and job, and what is working in a multinational corporation, and the conclusion. So let's proceed. About myself, so sir has already told. I just wanted to tell that over 10 years of experience, I have worked across different functions in pharma industry, like sales and marketing, clinical research, regulatory, and also teaching experience. So my contact details are already there. So in future any queries there, you can direct me it to me or to Shirke sir. So let us go about introduction to pharmaceuticals. Now, pharmaceuticals is everything about related about pharmaceuticals, and as you are aware that we are one of the largest market as well as largest producers of pharmaceutical drugs. So initially the industry was like dominated by US, Europe, and Japan. These are the major players who dominate the pharma industry. And together they have made several bodies like European Union, US FDA is there, EDQM is there, and Japanese Ministry of Health and Labor Welfare. So they have made various body, but India has a unique place in pharma industry. India as well as China. Now, if I say that India has unique advantage because most of the Indian people are English speaking, and when it comes to drug or processes related to drug manufacturing or labeling of a drug, we require people who are fluent in English speaking and who can sell their products in abroad markets where English is the preferred language. So Chinese people have somewhat inhibition in that part, but they are very good at manufacturing sector. So if you consider India, India has largest provider of generic medicine. By being generic means which is non-patented, and it is also largest producer of vaccines, and it is third in production by volume and 14th by value. I say 14th because as you see in India, the cost of the drugs is very low as compared to the counterpart. If I can say about my company, the molecule of glixambi, which is fixed dose combination of linagliptin and empagliflozin, cost around $530 for a month of therapy, which comes around 40,000 rupees in US, but same it cost in India around 2,400 rupees a monthly therapy. So the cost difference is there. It has largest uh, plants which are accredited by US FDA, more than 262 in India, and World Health Organization good manufacturing practices approved license more than 2,000 companies have. European Directorate Quality Medicine approved more than 253 plants. So it is a great manufacturing hub for the world. And as you can see from the map which I have given, these are the major manufacturing hubs. So Ahmedabad is there, Ankleshwar is there, Vapi. In Maharashtra, if you see Tarapur, Pune, Aurangabad. So in Pune, MQR is situated, Lupin is situated. There are lots of company which have manufacturing in Pune. In Aurangabad, Cipla has manufacturing. In Goa, Cipla has manufacturing. So Bengaluru, Biocon, Novartis, and Chennai, there are Orchid Pharma, Medley Pharma. Many companies are there, and due to low labor cost, we are also moving on to the north part of India, that is Baddi, National Capital Region, Noida, Haridwar. So these are the some of the hubs where there is manufacturing and R&D. So looking out for jobs, you if you are looking jobs in R&D and manufacturing sector, you have to move to some of these places in future. So considering this is the sort of introduction, and India is a great hub because of low cost, cheap labor. Now, coming to what are drug and cosmetic, as the major of you are may not be aware. So, drugs is not drugs which we think of narcotics and psychotropics. It are any active ingredient. Any active ingredient means whatever thing a doctor prescribed to you for diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of a disease. So under these four categories, whatever thing is there, it is can be classified as drug. So simple thing, if we can see a multivitamin, yes, it is used for prevention of a disease. A vaccine, it is used for prevention of disease. So it is a drug. You are given an iron tablet, ferrous fumarate, it is used for treatment of anemia. So it is a drug. You are given barium sulfate to diagnose in X-ray, then that is also drug. So anything which is given for diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, and prevention of disease is a drug. It does not include intermediates used in formation of drug. Now, what do you define as a cosmetic? Cosmetic is anything which can be rubbed, poured, or sprinkled to enhance the appearance of a human body. So it is cosmetic. Now, a third part is remaining, which is known as medical devices. So whatever things which you are using in diagnosis, like thermometer, sphygmomanometer for blood pressure, the X-ray machine, okay, cath lab. These are also classified as drugs, and they are come into a regulation of US FDA. So, considering that any pharmaceutical product, just like any person is born, he goes on to become big, and then slowly he becomes old. So, a pharmaceutical product also has a life cycle. Okay, and it starts with a stage of R&D, intellectual property management group. On the left side of the diagram, it is given capital investment, means here you are investing the money. So that's why it is known as it is showing negative growth. Okay, and on the right side is the time in years. So we start with R&D stage, we move on to lab synthesis, we move on to clinical trials. After that, there is a regulatory affairs department who is constantly working on getting approvals, and then move on to the manufacturing at large scale. Once it is manufactured on large scale, we launch it in a market. So there comes the sales growth, Turbulence is what, whenever a new product comes into the market, there is some inhibition to use that product. Directly all the people or all the doctors don't start to prescribe any particular product, because we don't know whether what will be the side effects, what are adverse events, because in clinical trials we uh, use that drug on very small population. So there is a turbulence, after which the people start accepting that drug, that it is good drug, and let us prescribe that, and patient also start to take that drug, and there are lesser cases of adverse event. So drug comes into maturity slowly. If patient body develops tolerance, or if disease develops more effects, so then that drug may go out of the market, and there may be decline. So here, these are the different stages where we have to use. Now, this is avoid sharpen to, because after turbulence, directly sale can drop. So if you have any query related to that, because that is separate topic together, but we can take it up later. Now, any drug, when it comes to the market, there are different type of player. So there are major generics, minor generics, and innovator. What do you mean by innovator? Innovator is a company who has invented or discovered that drug, and it has patented. The patent period for any drug is 20 years. Okay, it is known as product patent. Before 2005, India was not signatory to trade regulated intellectual property rights. So what India used to do, there are two types of patent. There is product patent and process patent. So companies like Cipla, they used to change the process, which is known as reverse engineering, and they used to manufacture the same drugs, which did not come under patent. But after 2005, we are signatory to TRIPS agreement, and we have to follow the product patent. So if product patent is there, you cannot make the same generic molecule of that. So considering the place where I am working, Boehringer, it has both the products as patented, and you cannot copy that. If you are copying that, you are liable to face action in the court, and there are huge fines regarding the same thing. So always the market, whenever patent gets over, they split up into two or three parts. That is innovator, then major generics, and minor generics. And in this scenario, the person who is first to launch after the patent gets over captures most of the market. So if I say major generics, there are companies like Cipla, Mankind, Aries, then Alembic, Lupin. These are major generics, or Dr. Reddy. Minor generics are other companies like Manish Pharma, Mankind Pharma. So they have small market size as compared to this people. So it is very important that you have the first access to the market, and that is where regulatory department also comes to play. The cost of developing a single drug is costing around $2 billion. That is equal to four or five Airbus 380 aeroplanes. It is not that we develop one drug. There are 10 and thousands of molecules that come into the lab. They are screened for side effects, adverse events, carcinogenicity, teratogenicity, and after that only they enter human trials, and only one drug will become a approved form, which you can see in the market. So there is lot of money going inside drug R&D, and that's why there is a thing known as patent, that if you are putting the money in developing the drug, you will get the benefits of selling that also. So R&D takes 8 to 10 years, and you have patent for 8 to 10 years. Within that you have to break even. Now, regulatory affairs is a body which sees all this law. Okay. So if I talk about India, Indian regulatory body is known as DCGI, which is Drug Controller General of India. So it gives approval whether you can sell particular drugs or no. Okay. Overall, all over the world, there are different markets. Some are regulated, some are semi-regulated. So regulated markets are US, which is governed by US FDA, UK by MHRA, EU by European Medicine Agency, Japan by MHLW, Australia by Therapeutic Goods Administration, Brazil by ANVISA. Semi-regulated markets are South Africa and Asia, where common health authority, health science authority, which was developed in 2001. MCC is Medicine Consultative Council. So if I am sitting here in India and I want to sell my drug in some of these countries, I have to get approval from this regulatory body. And they have developed a common guideline which is known as ICH guideline, which is International Conference of Harmonization, which lays down a basic guideline as to what studies are required, and you can then sell that drug to some country. For example, why this is required? See, most of the US, Europe market, they don't have combinations. But in India, you can see fixed dose combinations of two drugs, three drugs, they run because everywhere the guidelines are different and they want us to adhere to the same. Now, considering what are different jobs in pharma, so if you see, as I told you, consider every interaction company has, right from raw material supply to final product. So we have several departments. When you go to raw material, there is a purchase division. Then there is a R&D division who does pilot studies and lab scale studies. Intellectual property group is there. Manufacturing is there. Regulatory authorities to get approval, and CRO for conducting clinical trials. So you have so many of the aspects where we can land up in a job. So and finally, regulatory body. So if you consider jobs may be in research and development, there will be lab-based R&D jobs. In clinical trial, there are different phases of clinical trials. So jobs are considering CRA, that is clinical research associate, CRC, clinical research coordinator, biostatisticians are required. In lab, you require people with microbiology background, pharmacology background, medicine background. Doctors can enter this R&D, biochemistry background, and a pharmaceutical background. When you come to manufacturing and production, you require people who have graduated in pharmacy or who have good knowledge in chemistry because they have to work in QA, that is quality assurance, QC, quality control, production supervisor, production manager, product lead, and researcher for super generics. What do you mean by super generics? Is that suppose a drug is patented and it is in form of tablet, and I don't want to get caught in patent, so I developed a syrup form of that or suspension form of that, so it is known as super generic. So there are people who are working in manufacturing and production, in operations. Then comes the distribution and selling, marketing, where people can be working in CFA, clearing, forwarding agent, CNF, stockist, wholesale, retailer, transport provider, that is essentially the supply chain. Then in sales as medical representative, managers, brand manager, product manager, sales head. And other jobs related to this are, you can be HR in a this company, in pharmaceutical company. You can be vendor for third party. You can give training or soft skill development to these people. And there is a company law. So there is a corporate law where you can be part of. Every company has department where they look about the corporate law, and CSR activities, corporate social responsibility. Also, apart from this, you can land up in jobs in governmental or semi-governmental companies. Like NATCO is a government company. Then Bharat Serums is a government, a semi-government company. You can also become drug inspector, where there are limited departmental exams under MPSC. You need to have B Farm, M Farm, experience in a medical shop, or experience in a production facility for the same. You can be part of drug regulators also, that is DCGI and CDSCO, Central for Drug Standard Control Organization, but that is a industry nominated position and you have to be IS for the same. Also, you can be part of several bodies like OPPI, Organization of Pharmaceutical Producers of India, Indian Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association. So many jobs are provided to Indians. This is the field. Now we are seeing the world changing because of COVID, and you can see that IT, information technology, they had good time, then they had bad time. Engineering, they had good time, then they had bad time. Pharma is a field where there is always a stable growth. We cannot say that they are exponentially growing, but there is a stable growth. There is no question of degrowth because diseases will increase, because of people lifestyle, and so there are plenty of opportunity always there. So these are the overall the scenario. While joining any college, you have to see that the college is approved by AICT, Pharmacy Council of India. It is the Pharmacy Council of India is a governing body for college approvals and accreditations, where they provide. If you join PCI accredited college, then only you can apply for license in a pharma in state pharmacy councils. Because there are a lot of pharma colleges, so you have to select which colleges I want to go. What is the track record of that college? This entirely you'll find in public domain, and counselor can help you with the same thing. My role, considering um, my role is as a manager. So earlier, people who have studied management, they used to ask what is the difference between manager and a leader. Now these concepts have come in management study prior to 1950s, where there were big organizations and there was manufacturing sector. So there is a manager is a role of supervisor, and a leader is a role who unites all this workforce, and he is known as leader. But considering today's dynamic environment, a manager and leader, the roles have mixed up. A person who is manager, at the same time, he has to be a leader also. Now, manager, if I say, who is manager? Let's not go by textual definition. Manager is the person who manages a team and gets the work done. In short, he has to get the work done. इफ आय से इन मराठी, त्याला काम करून घ्यायचं आहे दुसऱ्यांकडनं. हु इज लीडर? लीडर हु इज person who shows how it is done. He leads by an example. Leading by example is a trait of leader. Leader makes you feel valuable. He leads from the front. Don't pass the orders and get the work done. So he's not a supervisor type of thing. Now my job role is to manage a team, and my team consists of several people who have to bring in the sales for our company and our products. And teams, if team is successful, then I am successful. Okay, so basically nowadays we recruit people who are team players. We don't want individual talents. So a lot of time what happens, the people go for interview, they think I have good knowledge than the other guy, but I was not selected. He is not selected because he is a not team player. It is very important that how you get across with the other people whom you are working as a part of team. So if I say Sachin Tendulkar is a good talent, but Dhoni is a good team player because he knows the strength of his team, and that's why we know how he will use the resources well to his advantages. So there is a difference between talent and a team player. Okay. And business schools also, those who are teaching management, they are also emphasizing same thing. Why they let you work in a team? Why they give you projects in a team, or make you make these presentations in a team? It is to see how you perform in a team. And team is individuals of different skill set and talent set. Some may be good at one thing, some may be good at other thing. So a team leader makes the best use of the different types of people in their organization. In Marathi we say हाताचे पाची बोट सारखे नसतात, but we have to use the best. We have to use thumb, we have to use forefinger, and then we can use the best use of the resources. Earlier the organizations were known as, coming to the my working in MNC. So earlier organizations were like, there is a business unit and there is a HO. HO means head office. Now my head office is situated in Germany, in Ingelheim. Okay, and it is business units are situated differently all over the world. Okay, Bombay is the business unit for India, and business unit is reporting to the HO. Okay, business units have again several different parts: discipline, marketing and sales, research and development, regulatory, pharmacovigilance, and so on and so forth. Now these people work individually and they report to HO. and HO takes a decision. So there is a common thing known as a command and control, that who you report to whom, who is your supervisor. I report to my zonal sales manager. Zonal sales manager report to our national sales manager, who report to divisional head. Some people report to me. So what happens? There is a command and control, and many people follow the same structure. So what they do, they give the power of decision to different people, and if there is any problem, they may again send the problem to the HO, and the HO may tackle that problem. Okay. In this, what happens? Uh, I have to always look upon my superior, what decision he will take, and then I have to, if I am faced with any challenge, I have to get back to him. He will tell me something, and then I have to work upon it. So this chain of commands take a lot of time. If you can understand that you have to pass the information till the top man takes the decision, and then it will come to again to the execution level. So decision and execution, different part. Now this takes a lot of time and productivity is lost. So eventually what happens in this type of scenario, though the company is growing, though the sales is growing, but eventually it is very hard to control who is doing what, because the person who is at the ground level may not be in same alignment with the person who is at the top level. Okay. And in this, though for some time the company may run very smooth, but after some period of time the attrition may start. Okay, downsizing can happen. These are the problem with the structured organization. That Suppose in a team there is one person who says he has the best knowledge, but he limits it to himself. He doesn't want to tell to his other counterpart, because he thinks that why should I tell? I have learned this technique by so much hard efforts. Why should I tell him? So this problem can be there. Even if I have good idea, but if my superior doesn't like that idea, he will not allow me to work with the same idea, and good ideas may be lost. Okay. So there is very little communication in this thing. It is more of a command and control thing. Okay. So the top management doesn't know what is the reality of ground field workers. Okay. They are not aware what the customer wants. The customer in case of this is the doctors and the consumers, the patients. They don't know what are the requirement of these people. So these are the problem. So when I was in MQR, it is an Indian company. Indian company has a good growth, mind you, because they are in growing phase, and they have good means they have local laws requirement, compliance requirement. When we come to a multinational company, what changes? Multinational company has more of process. Okay, it's like if you go to a small hotel, you will get faster service. But when you go to a big hotel, there are several processes. You have to reserve a table, you have to place an order. Depending on what type of dish are available, that dish only they will serve. And this may take a lot of time. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. But mostly difference which I observed in Indian and multinational company was that multinational companies are more of process oriented. So in a machine, in a big machine, multinational company, you are like a small nut. The organization may continue to thrive. Some nut may get loose, okay, but still he is a part of that machine. In Indian company, you are a very important part. Okay, you have been given many things, and process is not that important. The results are important, which I have observed in my experience. Maybe if different companies have different type of working ways. Okay, so this makes us come to the point of how the which person can work in which type of organization. Earlier there were two type of people: organizational person and network person. Organizational person is very talented person who has a good set of knowledge and skills, and he's very loyal to the company. So earlier, if you can see, you will find many people who used to work for Tata, Larsen and Toubro, big companies, they used to work for long and long. They used to start in that company and retired in that company. But nowadays it is changing. You will find that uh, majority of workforce will be less than 5 years in that company. Some are on contractual basis. If you can see, some are on contract basis. So these things like a long lasting worker or who is particularly in that model may not survive. Nowadays people require very dynamic people. Those are known as network person. Network person may not be so much skilled on knowledge, but he has a constant passion to get that knowledge, and he's constantly communicating. So this is the difference. My present MNC is an we require network person. We don't require that type of knowledge he should have, but he should have more of communication and self driven passion to acquire that knowledge. Okay. So again, coming to that point, we require team leaders. Organizational person is now a thing of past. When there were big manufacturing things in India, then organizational person used to be required. It's like a governmental thing. You can start with the same thing and retire. But in network person, you have to be constantly upgrading yourself, constantly getting your skills revamped, constantly learning new things and unlearning old things. Because there is a concept known as unlearning, a concept which you have learned earlier. It does not necessarily mean that will be successful in time to come ahead. So you have to unlearn some concepts. Okay. So we require dynamic people, and that's what is the role in multinational company, where you have to constantly upgrade yourself. Failing to upgrade means you will be lacking back. So you will see that nowadays many of the new engineers who pass from computer science, they have the same skill set, and they can challenge people who are there in the organization from 5 to 6 years. So if you stop learning, if you stop upgrading yourself, you will be at the losing end. There are no guarantees nowadays. So you have to constantly communicate. The more you interact with your people, the more your network becomes. Okay. So these people are known as network people. Network people only will help you survive in the market. Your network is strong, you will survive in the market. If your network is poor, you are a lonely person, you will not be able to survive for longer time period in the market. Maybe in R&D you can survive, because there you require a special skills for research and development, but not in field driven market. Because we are coming, see, earlier person working in organization at the bottom level, he used not to interact with the top management. But nowadays what happened, due to email and digital channels, or person at ground level can also interact with top management. A person at ground level can also interact with HR, with finance system, with supply chain system. So you have to be interworking. Earlier you are part of a particular group, now you are part of particular function. So mobile workers, what we call mobile, I mean not working on mobile, but means they are moving on to different role each day. Okay. We are this organization which I found in MNC, we are more of a we want to create a gender diversity. We have to have women also in our organization, different type of people with different culture, different background. So overall we have to have a cosmopolitan environment. Okay. Majority of companies you see, they will not be Indian companies. They will not be this type of, like, they will have different culture people. They will have same culture people, because the organization is very stringent. In Boringar, we will have different type of people. Because of different type of people, there are different type of ideas, different type of culture is there. Okay. And they fit in a process, uh, and can be run effectively as a team. So nowadays, teams are to be managed in a Boehringer, in a multinational company. Team, we manage a team. Team have more power. They have to run their own affairs. They don't go and ask each and every step to the top management. They can take decision on their own. They have to report to the upwards, but they have to take a decision on their own. So network team, as even Deloitte has put, which is the big consulting organization, has put that network of team is replacing conventional hierarchy. That means a person who is in sales should interact with marketing, should interact with HR, should interact with training, should interact with finance. Is there a hierarchy? No. Earlier, what used to happen, a person in sales used to interact with only salespeople. Now they work in a common goal. So it is more of a functional team. Functional team means what? A function is mixed, cross-functional team. So they have common objective, and this way team can work. If you see even other organizations, like if you say police, army, they are also working on the same thing. They will have one person from IT who will be giving intelligence, one person from this background who will be doing on field work. Okay, one person maybe some different background, and they together they come. So there is a cross functional team happening. The drawback of the teams is the team may not always have the answer. Okay, like there may be problem of coordination and motivation. Suppose you are a good worker, and I say that please teach your skills to other some a person, but a person is very not as much as skilled as you. What will happen? It is like placing an intelligent person with an average person. The average person may irritate the intelligent person. Both of may not be able to collaborate. That problem happens uh, in team. Also, there is another problem of groupthink. Means what? Majority may not be aligned to the goal, and they may come up with another thing. Okay, they will try to simplify things for themselves, which is known as groupthink. Okay, people are not aware that who exactly is on my team, because there are so many people in different functions who are working on the same thing, so people may not exactly aware who is exactly on my team. So these are the some problems with the team, and that's why we require people. And this is what we are working in our organization. Whenever you are working in an organization, you are not basically fighting with the competitors. It is not that I am fighting with AstraZeneca or I am fighting with Johnson and Johnson. I am fighting with market transition. What is market transition? We both companies are working tomorrow. COVID, because of COVID, lockdown has happened. Now how fast I respond or adapt to this situation will decide who is the winner. Will decide who is the winner. So I am competing against the market transition, not against my competitor. Also, we have to be more disciplined than the competitor. It is not that we have to be more intelligent than, we have to be more smart than competitor. We have to be more disciplined than the competitors. Okay. Uh, if you are Slack manager, that you know something is going on your team, and you are just disregarding that thing, it may become a distraction for the employees in the future. Okay, so always any minor hint of any challenge in the team, you have to respond to it immediately. Okay, even as the offices get open, the culture of connecting through the Skype, through Zoom and other platforms. Okay. So some people like to be individual. They will not be able to tell you immediately. But you have to bring out such people and tell them to adapt to the certain type of things. Some people may not be good at working from home. They are always good on field. Some people are not good at communication. So they want to stay differently. No, you have to bring them on the same page. And that what is known as adaptiveness. Okay. So what we are thinking is that preferable alternative to all these things is known as responsible autonomy, where decision is taken by the employees execute, and they have to come up with the outcome. They are responsible for the outcome. How they have to do the work, in the constraints of law, it is up to them, but they have to be accountable, and in that way only they can survive these things. So responsible autonomy, which is also known as a self-driven person. We don't want donkeys to be working that you are given so and so task that you complete and come back to me. No, you have to think on yourself, be smart. So basically that's the difference and role in multinational company which I have seen. Thank you for your patient hearing. It's 18:40, that is 6:40. So we have some time for question and answers if we can take. Hello.
Yes, there is one question. In case of Ayurvedic medicine, do the companies have to follow the same approval procedure?
Okay. So considering Ayurvedic medicine, the problem with Ayurvedic medicine is that it is not accepted worldwide. Okay. So there is no US FDA guidelines or so. But in India, there is a authority known as Ayush for Ayurvedic, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathic medicine. And this company will provide you with guidelines, basically what should be medicine. So they have fixed proprietary formulas. If you are making the formulas on basis of that on the book like Charak Samhita, then you have to just have a GMP plant, which is good manufacturing practice. World Health Organization has laid down the guideline. In that basis you can manufacture the medicine as per that, and you can apply for the license, and then you can get easily getting an license for Ayurvedic medicine is not as tough as uh, allopathic medicine, because Ayurvedic medicines are already mentioned in textbook of Ayurveda, so it is not that tough. Also, there is only one problem with Ayurveda medicine: these medicines are not standardized. So if you take, suppose aloe vera plant, and you want to sell aloe vera gel, aloe vera plant will from Maharashtra will have different qualities as compared to aloe vera plant from Madhya Pradesh. So how do you standardize it? There are no guidelines on these things. People are working, the government and Ayush body is working on standardizing the Ayurveda extracts. And Himalaya is a such company. Uh, Himalaya is a company who sells standardized product. And if I tell you about some companies from Ayurveda like Dut Papeshwar and other companies, they sell the textbook formula. They don't sell the extract. So approval condition for them is different. Approval condition for Himalaya is different. I hope that answers it.
Okay, thank you. There is one more question. What are the opportunities in research in companies?
Good question. Many of the people who work in pharma or who are pharma graduates, they always come up with this answer. So one thing I wanted to tell you that in India, India is still far behind compared to America and Europe, where they develop new drugs. What we are doing is just copycat that drugs, make generic formulation, change the formulation, make it some effervescent tablet, make it suspension, make it creams. So we are more into formulation and development. If you are talking at research and development is development of new drug. New drug is not easy to develop. It requires high throughput screening, lot of things, and it requires some people from chemistry background. So if you want opportunity, there are opportunity, but in formulation and development, few companies like Reddy, Dr. Reddy Labs, Biocon, they do work on research about biosimilars. So in they are generics of vaccines. So it is very difficult to make same to same vaccine because proteins have different structure. So there you have opportunity. Basically, you have to be clear in your mind which type of research you want to join. And you, if you want to particularly join research, you have to go through B Farm, M Farm. You have to go through PhD, postdoctoral fellowship, When you are expert in that field, then you can easily get into R&D.
Okay, thank
Otherwise, in foreign also you can see for
okay,
jobs.
good. Thank you. One more question. What is the scope of pharmacology and pharmacovigilance in India?
Um, this is related. Pharmacovigilance has a good scope in India because there are two parts of this question: pharmacology and pharmacovigilance. Both are the separate thing. Now, pharmacology can be MD pharmacology doctor also, doctor who are medical doctors, and MS or M Pharm pharmacology also. Okay. Now, both of them have different role. MD pharmac doctor can opt into research. He can be medical advisor to companies to develop their drugs. Pharmacology in pharmacy, if he is doing, then he has to do clinical trial testing of the drugs on lab animals, which you already have some practicals at third year or B Pharm, where you test drug response curves, toxic dose, lethal dose. These are all done by M-Pharm pharmacology students in companies. When you come to pharmacovigilance is more of post-marketing surveillance. It is like the drug is already approved, it is into the market, and you are studying the adverse drug reactions because in clinical trials you have just a limited population. So pharmacovigilance, company to company departments are there. Generic companies may not have pharmacovigilance department as good as that, because obviously they have generic formulation. Why they need to study post marketing surveillance? Because already many companies are already selling this drug. But yes, Boehringer, we do have pharmacovigilance department, and who see ADR reporting uh, to the regulatory bodies of adverse drug reactions, serious adverse events, side effects, drug abuse, drug misuse, and you definitely have career in that too. You can go for uh, M-Pharm pharmacology, and also work on side by side some courses which specializes in pharmacovigilance reporting. Uh, you can also be part of some of the companies like TCS, Cognizant, Quintiles. Okay, this work on pharmacovigilance reporting, not only of India but also of abroad. This comes more of part of clinical data management.
Thank you very much. Now we have taken a few questions from our students. Very nice and a thorough information was delivered by Mr. Rohit. We are really blessed with your wide knowledge in the field of pharmacy. Now I shall give the further responsibility to my friend Prashant. Over to Prashant.
Thank you, Narendra. Wonderful good evening to our most valued, worthy guests, teammates, and dear friends. It is a matter of pride for me that I am proposing vote of thanks for the third session arranged by the team of Unfold Careers. I, on behalf of the team of Unfold Careers, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Mr. Rohit Thange, Area Sales Manager, Boringer, for the presentation and sharing. Sir, I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for unfolding your journey and making us wonder in the world of multinational companies. So thank you very much, sir, for that. I also
Thank you.
extend my thanks to the teachers, parents, and students for joining us. I also give big thank you to Narendra for introducing our respected keynote speaker in apt words. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to Chaitanya for the perfect technical support. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, one and all the delegates who are connected to this meeting. And this is really a good initiative. And I thank both Mr. Narendra Shirke and Dr. Mainkar for taking this and really helping students. Uh, and you can always get back to them in case of any query. Because being in industry, I can only say that industry knowledge is a different part, but soft skills and attitude, right attitude, people will go far ahead with right passion, and that cannot be developed easily. So you have to have somebody who can always guide you in such situations. So thank you all the participants, and thank you both the panelists also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone.
thank you.